Two months ago I started developing an FPS game. It was supposed to be fast-paced like Doom. The levels would be similar to Ultra Kill, with rooms of enemies you'd have to defeat in order to proceed. I needed a theme for the game, so I thought that it would be cool if the enemies were chess pieces and the game took place in a medieval castle. I made the character controller by taking it from my previous project and adding double jump and a dash ability. I created the main weapon, a revolver inspired by Ultra Kill's pistol. The first enemy I made was the pawn. Since it is the weakest piece, I decided that it would be fun if it was big and muscular. I took the animations for the enemies from Mixamo and I made the pawn chase the player and punch him. Then I decided that a melee attack would be cool, so I made the player be able to kick, similarly to Zenyatta's melee attack. I made a main menu, a pause menu and a basic UI by using code from my previous project. I added a ragdoll for the pawn and made the player be able to die. After refactoring the weapon system and enemy AI, I decided to start creating levels. With some post-processing, stylized textures and baked lights, I was able to make a graphically pleasing scene. I made the pawn spawn animation and a room system structured in waves. I added lava that damages the player and I started working on the second enemy, the bishop. I wanted him to be a ranged enemy, so I stretched the piece on his head to give him a wizard hat and I made him shoot magic projectiles. After some more refactoring, I started doubting my game idea. The visuals looked too generic, and the chess team should have been more present in the game's aesthetic. Also, the project was very far from finished, since I had to make the horse, the rook, the queen and the king, and I also wanted to create new weapons and make bosses. For these reasons, I decided to reduce the scope of the project and give it a more unique style. I took inspiration from this video of Mids to use a stylized flat color art with no lights and no shadows. The color palette I chose is pinkish to give a sense of calm and mystery. The levels are suspended platforms with enemies you have to defeat. I made a response system that instantly restarts from the platform you were on, and I made a tutorial section. I reworked the lava to be purple and I started making levels. In total, there are about 20 levels of increasing difficulty. I decided that the objective of the player is to reach the Tree of Oblivion, which also became the title of the game. Finally, I reworked the UI and main menu, and I added music. Since I don't know how to make good music, I used public domain recordings of classical pieces. For the music at the tree, I chose a piece by Chopin. For the game music, I chose a piece by Beethoven with an added beat to fit the game's pace. Now that the game is completely finished, I published it on itch.io to download for free, so that you can try it. I am looking for some feedback, since I really want to improve as a game developer.